geomorphological.
Is quite labor intensive, and of course will take a lot of time, resources, and again within our locality data is not readily available. So modern yield prediction techniques using satellite remote sensing technology can be used to carry out complex and simpler empirical models that can be used in predicting production. Next slide. Now, satellite remote sensing provides cost-effective, high repetitive data that we can employ in predicting the yield of agricultural products. Now, microwave sensors in the Copernicus satellites is effective in agriculture, in production. But you may ask, why not use optical sensors that could do this very particular work more effectively? The reason is that within the period that rice is being cultivated, more especially in the tropics, we have ample cloud cover that renders optical instruments relatively, or will I say to a great extent, not very useful for such work. So, but the interaction of please, next slide. So the aim of this work is to study and predict the 2023 rice yield using historical SAR data and historical historical data that was used, that we got from the states. The objective is to obtain the historical rice yield data from sample rice plots, compute average basket coefficient of sample rice plots from calibrated Sentinel-1 SAR data, and predict rice yield. Next slide, please. So this is the methodology. We collect the SAR data. We we apply the OBIT files to convert this to WGS a 1984 coordinate system. Then image calibration is done, remove thermal noise, speckle filtering, and terrain correction. Then we extracted the VH and VV backscatter coefficients, combine it with historical data, then we carry out some statistical tests to check whether this data is linear or non-linear, and then we predict using the VH and VV rice yield maps. Please, next slide. So to test for normality of this was done in SPSS software. The test showed that that one of the independent variables did not show a linear relationship with the others, with the historical data, and therefore we decided to use the multiple non-linear regression equation. And this is the equation that was the linear regression equation that was used to predict yield. Yes, next slide. Now, the analysis showed that using the VH and VV backscatter multi sensors gave us that multi data historical that gave us that the VV and VH, what we predicted was very close to what the official record of yield in 2023 in Ebonyi State, arriving at a very good root mean square error for the 2023 of 0.578 and 0.47 for the VH and VV polarization respectively. Please, next slide. So we recommend that further studies can be conducted by integrating data from multiple sensors and in regression models for enhanced accuracy, utilizing of long historical data, time series yield data to improve the robustness of the model, the effect of different rice cropping system and variability in planting dates on soil scatter should be comprehensively investigated to improve the performance and validity of the multilinear, non-linear regression model. Further work should be done on operationalizing the technique and use in this research to facilitate the delivery of agricultural data set. Please, next slide. So in conclusion, the study aimed to predict, and we were able to predict the yield for 2023, and the root mean square errors were close in agreement with the official yield data highlighted by or given by the government, and so on. Please, next slide. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your presentation. May we call on Iwu Eze Shalom to step forward for her presentation. Thank you. 10 minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome once again. And I beg to stand on existing protocol. I'm actually smiling now because the problem we are going to discuss is something that has been making a lot of people cry. So let's start by smiling. Have you ever gone to the ministry and they tell you they can't find your file before? Or how about if you survey a property only to find out that it has been surveyed multiple times because there were probably no beacon on ground? Or worst case scenario, you buy property that has been bought multiple times. I'm sure these are cases that has made a lot of people cry. It has made me cry. Now, however, all these things stems from one problem: poor land information management. However, despite all this problem, the land business is here to stay. We'll still buy land, won't we? Because land is a very vital resource in any human society. And managing these resources starts with accurate record keeping. Now, that is where the cadastre comes in. Many of us have heard the word the cadastre. It is a system that manages land information, stores owner name, boundary, location, and any other value attached to that land. And to digitize this cadastre brings us the cadastre information system. It is a system, a digital format of the cadastre that helps us to monitor this land. Please go back to the introduction. Now, this cadastre stores information about land, but land information goes beyond just where the land is, about understanding patterns and then detecting problem risk and making data-driven decision. Now, that is what geospatial intelligence can help us to do. Not just store this information, but understand when a problem comes. Now, if this geospatial intelligence we are talking about since the beginning of this program is about combining GIS, remote sensing, and artificial intelligence to create a system that helps us visualize, analyze, manage data, manage land information. We're all land managers here, aren't we? Now, when we bring in all of these things into a more robust system, we're talking about a web-based cadastral information system. Now, let's go back to where this problem is. Taking Rivers State as our case study. Rivers State has been prone to a lot of land problems because of lack of information. Many people buy land multiple times, overlapping claims, disputes, and all these things create risk for us every day. Now, how can we solve this problem? That is what this paper is talking about, titled on leveraging geospatial intelligence and decision support system to improve our cadastral information system. Next slide, please. Now, to develop this thing, this paper is aimed at developing an automated cadastral information system, leveraging geospatial technology and decision support system. And to carry out all of these things, we worked on 3 major objectives. The first one is to develop a cadastral database, integrating this database into a GIS environment, developing an automated system for dynamic querying, retrieval and visualization of this information, and then lastly, performing spatial queries, validation of cadastral data for this system we're talking about. How can we do this? Many of us here knows AutoCAD. The first step is that, please, next slide, please. The first method is that, well, this paper is, we're using a tech-based approach in our methodology. And the first is to design random plots, about 50 random plots on AutoCAD, export this data into ArcGIS for attribute assignments. And these attribute assignments can be seen on the next slide. Here we see, back please, here we see a specimen prototype of a geodatabase showing the title land has, the beacon list, coordinates of all corners of the land, not just a point. The area, the location, the title, survey date, plan number, and dispute status. Now, what is the result of all these things? Please, let's look at a video that talks more about this web design that this paper would elucidate on. Please, the video, please. Please, the video. Okay, with the absence of the video, please, let's go back to the slide. It's not playing. Please, with the absence of the video, let's go back to the slide. Okay, next slide. Now, this is the result of the graphic user interface we're talking about. A portal that welcomes users, is user-friendly. Now, what are the benefits of this website? Next slide, please. Now, this is first. Imagine where you get to search a particular plot based on the pillar number. Now, that way, nobody is going to use one pillar number for multiple locations, because each pillar number gets an identity of its own, showing the location. Next slide, please. Now, we look at this. This is another benefit of this website, overlap detection. If you survey a property and the boundary overlaps at registering it into this website, the system flags it immediately, telling you that your boundary is overlapping with an existing one. This is going to curb future land disputes, won't it? The next slide, please. Now, how about dispute flagging. You want to buy a property and you don't know that the property is already in dispute in court. Key in the coordinates, the system tells you immediately, flagging this place visually and contextually, showing you that deploy the use of this web-based cadastration system, helping us to be the real modern surveyors that we ought to be. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we give her another round of applause, please? Thank you so much. So, we are coming to the end of this technical session 3. We have another one that will commence after a short break. But before we go on that short break, we would like to take questions. So if you have your questions, please, can you raise up your hand? We want to see your hand. Count. Take numbers, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take your numbers. You know your numbers. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, yeah. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. So we are giving each person 1 minute. Just 1 minute, not comments. If you have comments, you reserve it at the end. Just questions, that's what all we want now. So you have 1 minute to ask your questions. Okay. Question number 1. Please, can someone pass this microphone around? Okay. Sorry, Prof. I did it. Okay, comment. Okay, that will come after. Okay.
My name is Surveyor Tamuno Amy Johnson. My question is concerned on the second speaker who spoke on geomorphological modeling of water body landform interaction for sustainable ferry terminal development. I keenly observed the speaker, and I realized much of his information is based on surface data, geospatial data on the surface. But he had very little information on hydrological information, the hydrological data sets, hydrographic information. And so to support your project, we all know the critical issues and development, sustainable development in the marine sector. Why do you not give us sufficient information, particularly on salinity of the environment, the water body, salinity temperature information, and then water current information? Because time and time again, physical development in the water body has led to white elephant projects. The Jack and Day project in the ferry.
Be concise.
Can you,
1 minute.
In summary, can you tell us if you have sufficient information on?
Did you understand? Okay. Please, one house, please. Do we have any other question for him? Any other person? Number 14. Okay. Give him the microphone.
My name is Surveyor Dr. Nedam Yinu from Port Harcourt. My question is like this. You mentioned the MP.
Surveyor Chika, thank you for the presentation. UAV and terrestrial topo for terrain model. Could you tell us a challenge that could come and what you would have preferred? Because you were so academic as to having the first, that is the UAV for topo that you could get. Then you went into carrying out terrestrial topo as well. Would you rather suggest the one you prefer for non-academic work? Thank you.
Thank you. I think we have exhausted question for him. For Chika Vincent Okorocha, please, can you address it? Thank you.
Thank you very much for the questions. Let me start from the first person. And now, I just want to clarify something on that first question. The purpose of the project is not all the entire research that involved hydrographic survey. Let's clarify that. And now, we were asked, in the full paper, I referenced the client that gave us the job. So our job was to do bathymetric survey and topographical survey. We understand all those details you mentioned is necessary for the comprehensive understanding of the water body. That water is not an ocean water, it's just a very still water, just to state that. And so all those other information, in our recommendation, we stated that all those additional information is needed for a comprehensive study of both water and landform. To clarify that. The other, let me take the last one. We integrated drone, even though we had GCPs that we've added. You know, the idea of having a topographical survey with drone and having GCP, it's to give an approximation at the highest level possible of that your study area. But it doesn't take the fact that if you do a topographical survey at 5 meter interval, there will be slight variation between them. So if my interest is to map a small area, I would recommend doing a direct ground observation. But if my interest is to map a larger area practically, then I would say integrate drone. But if you would integrate drone, try to add as much GCP that you can, because the more GCP you have in that study area, the better your digital terrain model. Then the last one on tidal information. Thank you very much, sir. Now, in that research, if you see, I shared the area. It's the whole length of that now. This terminal is just for a jetty. The whole length of that terminal is less than 500 meters. Am I saying tidal information is not needed? No, I'm not saying it's not needed. I'm only saying for this work, we did not do extensive tidal information. All we did was to use the existing vertical datum there to process our data. But your contribution is well received, and I'm taking note of it. Thank you very much.
Your number, please. Your number. Number 5.
But if I ask this, can I ask any other question along with it? Because
for him. Question for him. Yeah, for him.
Well, for him, the question I will ask him is about what about the existing data in the state with regards to the bathymetric survey or any other thing on the waterways. Are you saying they are not good, or you don't have a data that you can rely on? Because if it is the state government, Lagos State, I believe, has something. I just wanted to comment on that. And the issue again is that of the control of the dredgers within the state. Are you considering, because you are looking at giving a better jetty and at the same time with regards to the activities of the of dredging in the state?
Just to, if I'm asked to do a job, I don't think I would go and tell them I think there's existing data, let me use that data. So you get that point, sir. If I'm asked to do a job, I will not tell them I will not do this job because there's existing data. I will do the job even if they've, survey data is like we said, is dynamic. It means even the more you do it, the better the results. So even after we've presented the result, they can compare with the archive data existing and see the changes that has happened for that aspect. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Number 2, your question, please. Number 2. Hand the microphone over to him, please.
My name is Sobeo Emeka Lambi Ezibo. My question is for Iweze Shalom, who talked on the cadastre. I am worried when you mentioned that it will flag overlaps. You didn't tell us the degree of overlap that it will detect, considering that survey is done using different quality of equipment that gives you different results. So at what length will it flag this and say there is an encroachment in someone else's land? The reason for that is that land is such a sensitive issue, especially among us from this client. And if you inform someone that somebody has encroached in his land, the dispute you are trying to solve, you may be creating much more. So at what point does it detect this overlap and make it a source of concern? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Any other question for her? Number what? Number 8. No, you've asked. We don't have time. We have less than 5 minutes to end this session. Number 10. Okay. Given 11.
Yeah, thank you. I'm standing on existing protocol. Okay. I listened to His Excellency, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, on the 30th of May, this 2025, presenting a lecture in UNN. And he talked about solving a problem from the root, how he cushioned the effect of youth who want to reap where they didn't sow. And the title is, My Administration Reward Hard Work. He that didn't work, let him not eat. He tied it to Bible passage. So my question goes to Sharon Iweze. She did a very good work, but I still think there is a gap there. You know, in this land administration, it might interest us to know that survey plan as entity does not convey title. Maybe some of us doesn't know. Now, the gap there is that in this our country today, especially in Rivers State, Imo State, while you are still sleeping, you might have C of O, but people will go to court, get their own lawyer, get their judgment, get police to enforce it. Before you wake up in the morning, they grab your land. So in this her research, what I'm asking, what can she do to consider the aspect of government influence to cover this menace of land grabbing individuals who goes to court despite every document that you have and still grab your land with a judgment that doesn't last up to 1 day? Thank you.
Okay. Number 10.
Thank you all. My name is Sobio Garba Mijain. Let me please stand on the existing protocol. The presenter has made mention of land administration. And she also made mention of managing the title using whatever software she's saying, using geospatial information. As the last speaker said, definitely you need to get information about the title before you carry out any other analysis. Because if you don't have a related information from the ministry, there is no how you can make any geospatial analysis to determine whether that particular property is in dispute or not. That is my question. Please, you need to further your analysis on the collecting of data to analyze whatever is the issue in terms of, land administration. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 11. Number 11, yes. Give him. Are you 11?
Yeah.
No.
I'm 11.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he mentioned overlapping land dictation. My question is, how do you manage the overlapping land dictation? And which of the two surveys you dictated is correct? And what are the basic information do you have to give the people advice that yes, anyone you mentioned that is right is correct? Thank you.
Give to Papa Ayeni, please.
Mr. Chairman, I'm Winston Ayeni. Bathymetric survey is topographic survey underwater. Chica. Information. Bathymetric survey is topographic survey underwater. So it's not a different thing. Topo is topo. You describe it properly. The accuracy with which you will do your job for it to be visible is dependent on the purpose for which the job is required. That will control. But my general observation is, when a surveyor talks to a surveyor and you don't tell me, like most of us are here, how I will make money, it is an academic business. All papers, I must congratulate all the researchers, fantastic job, but who needs it? So if you say, who needs this job? Who needs the digital terrain model? Which ministry needs it? In that ministry today, is there a surveyor there? We must direct our papers to production, not just academic. Go to school and give it to your professor. But if you come to NIS, there is a practitioner here who wants to make money. Tell him how he will do digital terrain model to make money. There is a surveyor general who needs advice. How does he meet his excellency with the terrain model to show that part of Asata market is going to flood because Mokwa flood? That is the way you must bring papers to this forum. If you want to do an academic paper, go to next Jill.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let us, thank you. Let us give him, thank you. Let us give her a chance. She may be able to address that, please. One house, let us give her a chance. She may be able to address that. Step forward, please.
Okay, for the first question from Surveyor Meke Zibo, saying what length does it flag overlap? That is, in survey we have allowable misclosures, and this system is not just something I do or something I will do. It is a system that calls for stakeholders, people who will put heads together to give these limits. But then we know within ourselves as professionals that there are limits to errors. So when this length is dependent on what the stakeholders decides. For the second question, says, what can be done to checkmate government influence on land grabbing? Well, this system calls for registering the survey plan, the titles, ownership, and everything. If a particular person's land has been registered, if another person comes to register it, the system will flag it immediately. No double registration. You have to go to the owner of the first registration to sort it out. And that way it will expose who the real frauds are. Then another question is how to manage the overlapping land. That question is in line with what Surveyor Maker said regarding these overlaps. There are limits to what these overlaps can be. You can't be overlapping somebody's land with 15 meters. That is too much. 15 meters will cover a farmland. And then they say, which survey is correct? Now, that's another question. Hello, everyone. They say, which survey is correct? Which survey are we taking to be the correct one? Is it the first one, the second one, the third one, or the fourth one? As I stated earlier, this system registers the survey plan, the pillar numbers, the registration dates, the owner, and other land documents attached to that land. So it is the first one that the system is taking. Thank you.
Please, if you are not satisfied with the question, if you are not satisfied with the question, just be patient. When we get out of here, you can meet her for further discussion. Thank you. Give Papa. Give Papa microphone.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman, for giving me this special privilege. I appreciate. Let me first, I was going to comment on what my brother Winston Ayeni said. But before that, let me quickly remark that it is wrong to say that there's a limit to what overlap should be. There should be no overlap at all. When there is overlap, it becomes a court case. I mean, it's not a question of there is 5 meters or 15 meters or so. There is a definite boundary, and that boundary defines, the extent of ownership on either side of the boundary. The other aspect, with respect to my brother, I want to beg that we do not discourage academic papers to be presented in this forum. It is true that perhaps more serious academic papers can, those who are in NASGIL will find it by far more appropriate, to have certain types of papers there. But although it will be useful for authors to tie their papers to applications, that is, the benefits that it can give to people. Some of them may do that, but to want to discourage that academic papers should not be presented here, I don't think it is right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So the last set of questions, number 6. Number 6. Who is number 6? 2 people are raising their hands up. Who is number 6? Okay. Give him.
Good morning, all. I'm Brahimo Latif Babatunde from Ogun State.
1 minute, please.
Yes. In a situation where my clients want to purchase a property, he tends to know whether property has problem. There is an ongoing case landing this red that has not been completed, that is ongoing within that axis, how can our sister help us to solve this problem? Because the information is not readily available as at that point in time.
Number 7.
The chairperson and the distinguished members in this assembly, I want to join my brother to appreciate the effort of our resource person. My question is, when I was young, in the early 60s up to 1965, I discovered that it is the nature that must be protected against the forces of man. By year 2000 and upward, it is man now that must be protected against the force of the nature. Hence, we are talking of sustainable development program. Most of the resource persons they have identified, they have tried to convince us the way we are geospatial is the way forward. Most of the government agencies that are in charge of development and growth of the nation are really not aware, or if they are aware, they are not prepared to embrace this technology. And when you look at this gathering, 80% of us that are here know what our resource persons are talking about. In the future, a conference of this nature, we must try to invite the political office holders at the federal, state, and local government level. I so submit.
Number 12. Number 13. 15 and 16. So 13, 15. Well, we're taking the last part of it.
Still on the existing protocol, I am asking.
Help us just 1 minute. Be concise. Thank you.
I am Surveyor Madu Festus KSM. I am asking on the topic, I think presented by Dr. Kelechi on agriculture, especially rice. I know that most of the times when you're talking about agriculture, it is all about soil suitability. Let me go straight to the question. I am asking because I listened to the presentation. I didn't hear about soil suitability. So I am asking whether he carried out soil suitability test. Then if he carried out the soil suitability test, what is the result? And again, what is the recommendation? Because I know that different types of crop have different types of soil analysis, and it cannot be cultivated at a particular region. So what is your recommendation on the regions where in this country where rice can be cultivated? Thank you.
15. Yeah, you are the last but not the least. Let 15 ask, then finally you. Thank you.
I'm Surveyor Dr. Isa Funtua. My question goes to the same Surveyor Kelechi that presented on the rice production. In addition to the observation made by the earlier speaker, because I had two questions, he has already asked one of it. The development of physiographic segmentation of physiographic units in the area of the soil is very, very much important. I have published a paper on such issues, so I don't know if he has carried out those things to distinguish the elevation factor that determines the yield of rice production. That's the question. If you have not, then please do so. Thank you.
The last but not the least, 16.
This is Surveyor John Adam. My question goes to the resource man that spoke on deforestation and ecological instability, spatio-temporal dynamic of the impact of forests ecosystem in Obiakpo local government area. I am rather surprised that after such a detailed and eloquent job, the resource person rather shot himself on the foot by saying that the environmental degradation situation in Obiakpo is irredeemable and irreversible. I will appeal to him to revise that statement and explain to us how his study, how his eloquent and detailed study can be brought to, remediate the environmental degradation that he has so studied in Obiakpo. Thank you.
You. Kelechi. Okay, all right.
Thank you. I will be brief. Okay, thank you so much. As a promise, I was actually the lead author for the paper on decision support system in how to manage our land administration presented by the lady. So one of the question that was asked, that was the question that led to this research, because I was almost a victim. A Navy personnel, I did a job, a survey for a Navy personnel at one of the locations in Port Harcourt. So the man was concerned. He said, surveyor, go and check if this land is litigated or not. Go and tell me the status of this property so that I can take decision whether to continue the transaction or not. And I actually went to the ministry, and no information about litigation was retrieved. The information I retrieved was that the land is not in government land and others. And the man continued with the transaction, made payment, fenced, and the fence was demolished. And they now gave us a court order that the land has been litigated for over 10 years. So, but I couldn't get that information as a surveyor from the ministry. So that was what led to this research, that we are now pushing for a system that can be managed so that every point on the earth surface, information about that position can be retrieved. And that is just the kernel of this work. So that whatever land that is surveyed, the shapefile has to be gazetted so that whatever information the surveyor needs will be retrieved automatically so that our client can be gathered for further development. That was the kernel of the paper. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Allow me to give him his own.
Okay. Thank you for the questions. For the soil suitability, this work was just to predict yield. We didn't go into suitability of the soil. And what you raise is a very genuine situation. We will look into it in further. Then for the elevation data, it's the same thing. We